Welcome aboard the Orient Express, which features heavily in From Russia with Love. And it actually takes you from London in the UK to Istanbul in Turkey in roughly 10 days or so, and costs around £4,500. What? How much? Right, we better get off. Right, pay attention. Following in the footsteps of Dr. No, we'll be looking at the flags linked to the second Bond film, From Russia with Love, which appeared in cinemas in 1963. As you will see, not all flags are still in use today, but we'll look at all the flags as they would have been in that year. Let's get started. Following the success of Dr. No, From Russia with Love had a better budget, and so more locations were actually added. Ironically, for a film that quotes a country in its title, none of the film is set or recorded in Russia. That link goes to an agent's country of origin that Bond meets up with. Anyway, as we've covered the UK flag in Dr. No, we'll jump straight to Turkey's flag, where the action takes place in Istanbul. This flag, which has been in place since the Ottomans in 1844, was standardised in 1936. The star and crescent moon is synonymous with Islam and was a prominent symbol of the Ottoman Empire. The idea behind this simple design has a rather intriguing story, which you can find out by clicking on the link above. The Orient Express takes Bond and his team east into what was then Yugoslavia when they arrive at Belgrade and Zagreb. The national flag at the time was this tricolour, almost Netherlands-style flag, but with a prominent red star fimbriated in gold. The colours are based on the Pan-Slavic colours, and the star was added following the end of the Second World War and the abolition of the monarchy in 1945. This flag remained in use until the dissolution of the SFR of Yugoslavia in 1992, when the communist regime fell. The train continues into Venice, where we meet the Italian flag with its tricolour, or tricolour, green, white and red. It was inspired by the French Revolution flag, which we'll pick up in Thunderball. Green symbolises hope, white for faith and red for love, just to be different from most flags that have red for the blood shed during the previous wars. The pre-title sequence, the first Bond film to introduce such a concept to the franchise, is set on an island run by Spectre, which is a fictional global criminal and terrorist organisation that features in many of the films throughout the series. It's not known where this island is, and therefore we can only represent it with Spectre's organisational emblem, which was this rather wobbly octopus design, which evolved over the decades, as you'll see. And that's it for locations: Turkey, Yugoslavia, Italy, and the unknown island of Spectre. As we've looked at the lead actor Sean Connery for the Scottish flag, the Bond theme composer Monty Norman for the England, we turn to Louis Maxwell, otherwise known as the regular Miss Moneypenny. She was born in Canada in 1927, when her home country would have used the British Union flag. But as we've covered that, we go to the flag of Canada that was in use in 1963, and that was this red ensign with a coat of arms, which was taken from the decorative arms, which shows both the British and the French connections, as well as all the traditional maple leaf and the motto that translates to "They deserve a better country." Now, whether that means they desired a better country and they went to Canada, or that those now in Canada desire a better country, I don't know. No wonder they probably changed it. Anyway, the character of Titania Romanova, the Soviet consulate clerk that Bond goes to meet in Istanbul, was defecting from the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic, which had this flag in 1963. The symbolism being the union to agriculture and industrial workers, the hammer for workers and the sickle for the peasants. The star represents socialists, and the blue stripe for the Russian skies and waters of the seas. The 5 flags that represent From Russia with Love that stretch right across the continent of Europe, with, thrown in for good measure, Canada. Subscribe to make sure you're up to date with the very latest of flags of Bond, and click either of these videos to see the previous or the next films in the series.